So if you guys haven't noticed, my projections from the bear market cycle into the bull market cycle have not really changed. I've for this entire time said that I would not be surprised by $7 to $15 ADA. I would not be surprised by a $500 billion market cap in terms of ADA. And right now, those things are actually looking even more and more likely. It hasn't mattered the players, the time, the regulation. Right now, we are actually seeing exactly what we have seen in cycles past. And this is where ADA really begins to shine. I'm Luckside. Welcome to the channel. If you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So again, looking at ADA price, we're chopping, we're prepping for this next big breakout, which I talked about in my SHIB video earlier today. We are in fact entering alt season. We're at that time where BTC dominance has dropped off significantly. We're trying to push below our 200-day moving average, which is our bull market support band. So we're now about to enter this time where you see a massive surge in excitement, a massive surge in capital and adoption. And the great thing is that this is where ADA tends to perform as one of the best assets in the market. We've seen this from cycle to cycle. And in fact, when we look back at what ADA has done in the past, if you guys remember, it performs much better later on in the market cycle than it does earlier. All right. And actually, just looking at what ADA's done from the last bear market into the early part of the bull to now, you guys can see we're pretty much on track here. I would expect a little bit less of a gain throughout this early part of the bull market cycle compared to what we saw last year. So we're on track. And that would mean that, I would expect a little bit less of a surge than 1,830% like we saw in 2021, the last year of the bull market cycle, last cycle, right? So even if we just move, let's say 690% from where we're at currently, that's an $8 ADA. If we move, let's say 1,400%, you're talking about a $1,700 or a $17 ADA. Not to get people, too excited or anything like that. Well, where the math really comes together is when we look at something like ADA dominance. All right. So this is something for a long time I've said would be probably in the 4 to 5% range. That would actually make a lot of sense because that's what ADA has done historically speaking. It follows these trends, right? Looking all the way back here, you guys can see first market cycle probably should have topped out somewhere around 3.5%. Obviously, we had that blow off top, that price discovery surge, which sent ADA price higher than it should have been. And then last market cycle, we topped out right at about 4.5%. All right. So the question has always been, where does ADA head from here? When we look back at the prior market cycle, we're either in one of two places. We're either in right this spot here, November 30th, from a time standpoint, or we're in this spot right here, which is basically the kickoff of alt season. So which way are we about to trend here? Well, the interesting thing about that is if we do exactly what we did in the last market cycle, guess what? This gives us this range of 4% to, well, it says 6%. All right. I don't want to get people too excited, but why this is important is when we talk about where we're headed this market cycle in the market as a whole, that 10 to $12 trillion market cap. Well, if we're at 4% and it's a $12 trillion market cap, you're about a $500 billion market cap. That's the math. If we're even at, let's say, a $10 trillion market cap, but you're at 6%, that's a $600 billion market cap. All right. Now, this isn't a guarantee. This isn't financial advice. And this is just simply math. That's what I want you guys to understand. But what you need to know is that ADA could not be better positioned. Performing well, running into alt season. You're seeing a supply shock hit. We have this embrace of US based crypto. You're starting to see the Cardano ecosystem boom. We still haven't even had a major stable come to the ecosystem that will provide additional liquidity for projects being built in Cardano, really helping promote Cardano native assets. You're obviously seeing major interoperability with some of these other blockchains, obviously working with Ripple, working with Bitcoin, and many other top alts in the space. I mean, frankly, Cardano could not be more better positioned than it is now, and that's what is going to really be beneficial for ADA price as a whole. That's why I can't stress um, how how important it has been. Well, really say that. Stress how much of I lost my train of thought, guys. I'm so excited. I lost my train of thought. This is why I've said that the early market performance doesn't dictate late market performance because what retail does later in market cycles is very different than what retail does earlier on. What you see kind of earlier on in the first year of the bull market is a lot of capital matriculation. You just see people kind of moving around the space in a circle, moving from asset to asset to asset, and people have kind of a predetermined notion of where they want to put capital. And that's because of what Cardano has done in the past from an ecosystem performance perspective, it hasn't really been a spot where early in the market capital flocks to in a big way. It just hasn't been that exciting for a lot of people. But guess what? Retail coming in because of what Cardano can do, that's where you see speculation step in, and it's all happening at just the right time. We've seen the right amount of development. We have the right positioning with governments and with enterprises. I mean, we've talked for 2 years about what can be. We're trying to get to this, or maybe we can do that, and we're now at the time where we're doing it, all right? This is now the time. I've said we went from the transition of, Cardano is speculated to be able to do this to now to that prove it standpoint. Cardano is beginning to prove it, and people are, in fact, realizing it, all right? That's what I want to share with you guys. Now, again, if you guys do want to check out Margex, there is a referral link in the description below. As you guys know, I've talked about this a bunch. The reason I mentioned Margex is you have the opportunity to maximize your gains in this cycle. I'm not saying throw your whole bag in here. Know that there is risk that comes with leverage. Me personally, these are very, very small fractions of what I have in my portfolio. And sometimes you hit on one of these, right? So if you guys want to utilize leverage, if you guys want to trade on Margex, there is a referral link in the description below. Feel free to check that out. It's very easy to use. You can earn up to $10,000 in deposit and trading bonuses. There's no KYC. But the point I want to make is Cardano is doing what it's always done. That's never been even a question in my mind. That's why everything stayed consistent from the bear market cycle now to the bull. But what you have is now even the possibilities of having an even bigger boom, gaining an even higher percentage dominance. And really, with this US embracing crypto, the sky's the limit. So appreciate you guys as always. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully, I didn't get too lost in that, but have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.